What's the lifestyle of Gary Payton II? Well, we can tell you that. We can also tell you that right now, the Golden State Warriors are in the Eastern Conference for the first time in a few years, ever since their dream team got decimated thanks to injuries and departures. But now, they're back and hoping to regain that dynasty that was taken away from them in various ways. One of the key pieces to making that happen is one of their best defensive players in Gary Payton II, who has really made this season his own and is getting a lot of appreciation from the team and fans due to it. Pretty much my job. To truly understand the lifestyle of Gary Payton II, we need to talk about his time on the court this season, as Gary Payton II was making an impact when his team wasn't doing its best. For example, earlier in the season, a question was tossed towards Stephen Curry after a Warriors 119-107 win over the Sacramento Kings was pointed, yet he responded as if he was truly glad to hear it. He was asked if Gary Payton II's terrific performance in the victory exhibited the value of having the team fill its 15th and final roster spot. 1,000%, he said firmly, a split second after the question was completed. Curry was among the veterans urging Warriors management to fill that spot, and the pleas intensified when the management waived 4 players, including veteran guards Avery Bradley and Payton, both of whom specialize in defense. Management during training camp never committed to signing a 15th player and actually considered opening the season without filling the vacancy. One less salary to pay. A sad tactic in the league. When Bradley signed with the Lakers, the Warriors coaching staff, teeth gritted and fingers crossed, hoped Payton would not land elsewhere and that management would relent. He remained available and the Warriors pounced. Payton's work that game and, during the season so far, validated the team's desire to keep him. Coming off the bench, he played 17 minutes, contributing to 10 points, 1 rebound, 1 steal, and generally a stellar defensive performance. It's not typical that the last man on an NBA bench, a 6'2" guard, makes a significant impact in the third game of the season. Curry laid out the assets Payton brings, the on-ball defense, but also the movement and instincts he displays on offense, the crazy 6'8" wingspan, and the hops, as Payton's first bucket was a transition dunk off a Curry lob. Defensively, he gives us an edge, Curry said. And then he knocked down 2 threes, which was huge. If he's going to get open shots, he has to take them. We just want him to stay locked in, stay competitive, and stay focused on when his moment comes and show he can do it. Getting irregular minutes can be a tough gig, but Payton, who has spent 6 years scratching and scrapping to earn a regular job in the NBA, prides himself on dedication. I've been doing it for a while now, and it's really my job to stay ready at all times, he said. Just make sure I'm ready to do whatever I've got to do, to be ready as soon as I hear it's go time. I've been doing it for a while now, so it's pretty much my job. A job that the team now definitely feels he deserves long term. He was one of their go-to guys during the season when things got tough for their own big three in terms of slumps and injuries. And in the playoffs, he was doing even better than before. Yes, he's currently out with an injury, but he could return potentially, especially if they make it to the NBA Finals. Something that Payton II couldn't have even imagined at one point given his rocky time in the NBA. How he got to the NBA. Among Adam DeSotto's responsibilities as an assistant coach at West Wind Preparatory Academy in Phoenix was helping players find spots at the next level. In September 2011, that meant posting on Blogspot, where he published scouting reports, one of which included a proclamation. DeSotto's would be surprised if this particular West Wind player was not named an all-league defensive player at least once in his collegiate career. When he talked to college coaches about this player, a defensive-first jump-out-of-the-gym combo guard, he could sense their hesitation. It was weird, he said, because the film spoke for itself. And as the player's English teacher, he didn't understand how anybody could meet the kid and not like him. Convincing the coaches to make the trip was like pulling teeth. To this day, DeSotto's cannot explain why there was such little interest in Gary Payton II. You'd think the son of a Hall of Famer would be overhyped and not under-recruited. I couldn't even get the big sky to come look at Gary, DeSotto said. His name's Gary Payton, and he's athletic. So, 1, that means I'm a terrible salesperson. But 2, he wasn't really somebody that people took that seriously. Payton was 19 when he got to Salt Lake Community College, 23 when he went undrafted out of Oregon State, and 29 when his one-way contract with the Golden State Warriors was guaranteed last Monday. Until recently, he was on the fringes, playing in the G League and Summer League on 2-ways and 10 days, never finding a way to stick with one NBA team from training camp to Christmas. This past Christmas, Payton started in the marquee game. When Devin Booker neglected to box him out, he soared to the rim for a powerful putback, the kind of play that looks 1,000 times more impressive when the guy making it is 6'3". In the afterglow of Golden State's victory, Andy Liu, co-host of Light Years, a long-running Warriors podcast, changed his Twitter display name to Gary Payton II Stan account. "It's just an unforgettable season," Payton said on January 10th, the day he officially kept his spot just before the team plane departed for Memphis. "My first locked-in season, guaranteed. And with this team, it's special guys on this team." And now he can very much be stated to be one of those special guys on the team. While it's true that the Warriors won the series with the Memphis Grizzlies, where he got injured without him, it wasn't easy. What's more, even if they potentially coast through the conference finals, they'll want his defensive presence as an edge for the finals, no matter if they play the Boston Celtics or the Miami Heat, as both are very tough teams. That shows how much he's proven himself this season. Making people remember his name. Payton has seen the Chase Center crowd give him a standing ovation and heard it chant his name. He has been harassing opposing stars from Chris Paul to Nikola Jokic, won a jump ball against the 6'11" Jonas Valanciunas, dunked so hard he got headbutted and earned a new nickname, all the while making everyone in awe of what he does. He's hard to define, so the things that he does on the court have to be pretty special, Golden State assistant coach Ron Adams said. And he's carved out this niche that works for him and is extremely helpful to a team. Payton is proud of the fact that he broke out so close to turning 30. There's not an exact age when executives stop seeing you as a prospect, but it happens. "They definitely look for younger guys to breed and make them their future," he said. "But if you think about it, I didn't really start playing basketball until my senior year of high school, so I really don't have that much wear and tear on me. I'm pretty athletic still. I can still move pretty quick." By his own admission, Gary Payton II has said that he is a late bloomer, and that probably led to why people weren't willing to take a chance on him, despite being the son of the Glove, a legendary NBA player who went up against Jordan and others during his time in the league. But to the Golden State Warriors right now, he's easily one of their most valuable players, something no one would have stated going into the season. Net worth. So what is the net worth of Gary Payton II? That would be about $5 million based on recent estimates. Now, this might surprise some of you, especially since he's been on multiple NBA teams in his career, including the Wizards, Lakers, Raptors, and of course, the Warriors. But as noted, he's not been a player that was valuable in the eyes of many, so he would only get certain minimum contracts to play. He's only now found his home with the Warriors. However, that means that his new home is going to want to keep him. So, depending on how things go this year, you could see his net worth bloom by this time next year. So what do you think? What do you think of this look at Gary Payton II and how important he was to getting the Golden State Warriors to the Western Conference Finals right now? Do you think he might be able to return from injury before all is said and done? Do you hope he gets a bigger contract after all he's done for them this year? Let us know in the comments below, and we'll see you next time on the channel.